Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to KP and Elise here. Abba was dropping in my spirit today, a revelation, and he wanted me to share. So here we are. Um, Help me, Holy Spirit. Okay, so there's just this space where I felt Abba so heavy today, or rather, at before that, because I'm recording this at like 1 in the morning, which means it was yesterday, but you get me. I was just sitting with Abba as I was trying to figure out something because there were events that took place that just, I was expecting so much more from it. And to be quite honest, just like I was telling Abba, that it kind of made me a little disappointed. But even in that, I wasn't wrecked. What I mean by that is a lot of times we are expecting Abba to come through. We're expecting Abba to do something a certain way. Thank you, Holy Spirit. He's bringing to my attention Jesus, how Jesus was supposed to, or they were saying how, hey, you were supposed to come vindicate us from the Romans, bring justice for us from the Romans. They're thinking he's gonna come, you know, basically like wreck shop. And really, he was this humble carpenter that rode in on a donkey. They're thinking he's gonna ride in on a mighty horse with royal armor, ready to just take everything down, when he was humble as I don't know what. But he did the greatest thing ever known to the world and the heavens. Like, it's literally us thinking that Abba's going to do something one way and it's not ever how we expected, and then the way that we feel afterward. He's given me this little nugget. I've probably said it before, but it's, he has one way to do a million things, and he has a million ways to do one thing. He is a limitless God, and we box him in when we try to have him meet our expectations that we think are so high. With our high expectations, those are like beneath him, in the space of like they're low. His expectations are so much greater. I just saw a picture, thank you, Holy Spirit, of it saying your expectations, and there was a bouquet of flowers. And then it said God's expectations, as far as in the blessings and gifts for you. And it was literally like the other half of the room just overflowed with flowers. Like, he has so much more in store for you. So when it doesn't play out the way that we thought it would, when it doesn't play out the way that we uh, felt it should, when it doesn't play out the way that we planned it in our head, like we do this thing where we simulate and we play things out in our head, or we go back and we rehearse things. Excuse me. We go back and we rehearse things. We go back and look at things, and how do you say? Basically like shoulda, coulda, woulda in this space here, and we kind of do that, and we do that to ourselves unknowingly. We're not realizing that you're basically like kind of giving yourself this suffering because you're very much so upset about something that didn't go the way that you planned. And this is actually going with the lesson number one, as far as an EQ for our lesson, as in the previous video where I was saying drop a pin to find out where you are. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling that way? But he kind of peeled a layer back, and he's wanting to roll this out slow and much differently than I expected. But because it's very meaty and it's very heavy, and it's a very unpopular opinion to submit your emotions and your thoughts, as in it says how you take your thoughts captive, or it says the heart is deceitful. It's very unpopular opinion to not adhere to your emotions, not to do things based off of your emotions, but we all do it. And this is a thing that he wants his children to come out of. And so he's sending me, send me, Lord. He's sending me to kind of just be that be his mouthpiece to speak these things and to kind of help you in the space of coming out of it. So he's doing it in a slow manner, just because it's kind of meaty and very unpopular opinion. Um, so the aspect that he's drawing is just this space of when you aren't getting what you wanted. It's almost like you anticipating Santa Claus coming, but then you blink as far as in Christmas morning and there's no presents on the tree. This actually happened one year when I was a kid. So he's bringing that back to my remembrance where you just was super excited. You just knew you were going to have this tree that was full of gifts and you were going to be able to just like, oh, what did I get? What did I get? And tear everything open for what you got. But then waking up in the morning and there was nothing under the tree, it was so defeating. It was so disappointing. It was so um it was so it's he's even bringing to my attention like the things that we want, like okay, we wanted this phone but we had to get this phone, we wanted this car but we had to get that car, we wanted the new shoes that came out but we couldn't get them before we started school, like all those different type of things like that. There are all those ways that he's just kind of bringing to my attention just to like give you a few examples and whatnot so you can see. But like that disappointment, that level of disappointment, that level of like I can't really call it, I can't really say shame. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I can't really say it's not shame, it's just a level of, it's such a level of, there it goes, thank you Holy Spirit, defeat. You feel defeated, you feel disappointed, especially when it's something that's like a goal or a live action plan that you're trying to put together and it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to work out. You feel so defeated and disappointed that it's almost taking you into this sunken feeling of, well, why do anything, or well, why even try, etc., etc. There's all of these things and factors that come into it. But as this event took place today, he was explaining to me, as well as just giving me the revelation, hey, you're not taking it the way you normally take it. And he was like, look at you, I'm so proud of you. This is for somebody. He's proud of you. You didn't take it the way that you normally take it. You didn't do it the way that you normally do it. Being your old you and being your Jacob, you're now stepping into that new name, into that new era of being Israel. So he's explaining, and as he was dropping it in my spirit, the download and the revelation and just connecting those puzzle pieces, he was saying, like, look at how you weren't sitting here, for one, trying to gauge whether I was telling the truth based off of what was happening in the natural. Look at also how you didn't run with the um, unrealistic expectations that weren't met. You didn't also make absolutes or conclusions to the things that you saw or the things that were happening. Because remember, even how he says we prophesy in part, we see in part. So even what we do see is only a piece of it. Even when we're seeing how Abba would see and him giving us revelation and downloads, that's still only a part. So it's very unwise of us to make Abba try to meet our unrealistic expectations where he can, but it's he has so much more for you, as I was explaining earlier. He just has so much more for you. And it's not wise of us to make absolutes and conclusions to a limited view, a limited window that we're not seeing the whole picture from. Um, it's also unwise of us to just run with things with these unrealistic expectations and unreasonable demands. Like, we cannot run with those. We cannot make absolutes and conclusions to those, and we cannot sit here and just get mad at God that He didn't do what we thought He was gonna do in the space of like, hey, thank you, Holy Spirit. He's explaining how like His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are above our thoughts. Thank you, Holy Spirit. With that being said, the way that you perceive something, he might have had a totally different type of what you call it. When I was just saying, he has one way to do a million things and a million ways to do one thing. There's a million. You can probably think maybe five, six, 10 off the top of your dome. After that, you do some planning, you could come up with a list of maybe 100. He has a million ways to do things, and that's where a lot of us, where you see a lot of us as prophets, and even a lot of us as just ones giving our testimonies, it's never in the way that we thought it would happen. It's never in the way that we thought it would go. So everything that kind of happened today, it was just I was expecting so much, because it was like, trying to be in that space of childlike faith. We just gonna put it full throttle, and we gonna have our faith all the way to the max. You know what I'm saying? And we just know, like, because my God can, and he, like, that's faith is what pleases him. Faith is what, like, that's what, let's put the ingredient in. And so I'm just putting it full throttle, like, especially with a lot of things that he's been confirming, etc., etc. And it it went I can't say completely opposite. It was more of just like nothing. And it was like, okay. And then he began to minister to me and reveal certain things where it was just like, okay, I don't understand. I'm a bit confused, but it was like that little kid that he was just like, um, it's okay, God, I trust you. And that's how I felt, just in this space of contentment, this space of love, and just being wrapped in it, and just being in this space of like, even though it wasn't what I thought it was, I can't let those things get in the way of me and you, as in me and God. I cannot let those things get in the way of not only how I see you, how I believe and trust on you. I can't use that limited information, because even what unfolded, like, it's like I don't have the full picture. It's kind of how you say, like, the detectives. He's bringing all the detective shows. I'm seeing the Great Mouse Detective. I'm also seeing Scooby Doo. I love Scooby Doo. Um, uh, what was it? Holy Spirit, we're just gonna go with those two. There's one that is in my head, but I can't pull it. Um, but basically, the detective shows, they're not looking for things, or they're not just drawing conclusions from what they heard or what they think. On top of that, they're not just drawing conclusions from what is on the surface level, because everything is not what it seems. And that's where we can't sit here and get angry and get mad and run with these absolutes and run with these conclusions and summaries of things like, well, it just went this way, and because it went this way, now I'm mad, now I'm angry, and now I'm just going to throw it away. Or now I'm just going to just rush it, or I'm just going to forget the whole thing, just forget it. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's just like, you can't sit here and run with that. You have limited information. So it was just really just being able to sit with him and give it to him, like, hey, yeah, that made me a little disappointed. I was expecting so much more. And it was just like, he wrapped me in so much love. And this is why I love him so much. Oh my gosh, because I can give everything to him. I can give everything to him. All my worries, all my cares, I can give it to him. I don't have to worry about it, and he comes through. He comes through like nobody's business. He makes it happen. He salves it. He heals it. He ministers to it, like, and just the way that he was showing me, like, look at what, look at the progress here. And I was just like, oh wow, okay. And it was just being able to rest and sit and like, hey, I can't run with that. I can't take that and make it something else, especially because it's almost like, thank you, Holy Spirit, it's like a movie or a Broadway show. It's not done yet. It's not over yet. As long as you're still living, the show goes on. You are not done yet. You're still living, you're still breathing. That is his breath in your lungs. Like, thank God. Be grateful for that. Count your million little miracles and let it be that, even though you didn't get what you wanted, even though it wasn't what you expected, even though, because everything is not what it seems. As long as you are still breathing, the show goes on. Like, there's so much more to your story, and he has so much more to unfold. What he called for you, it will not return unto him void. What he wrote, what he spoke, it is did. He is the undefeated champion. He is the most high God. He lives outside of time, placed you in time, for an appointed time at the right time. Like, he is the most high God, and he's going to make sure that he gets what he placed on the inside of you out of you. It's not going to be this thing of like how we think things will fall together, or how we think things will go about, like how we see in the movies. It's not like movies. What we see on media, what we see in society, what we see in culture, this is all stuff that's literally clipped and edited. You're not seeing it from the full spectrum. You're not seeing it from the full perspective. You're not seeing all of the mundane days that they had. You're not seeing all of their mistakes. You're not seeing all of the things that have tripped them up, or things that just didn't go to plan. You're not seeing all the behind the scenes stuff, especially when it comes to like social media with culture and society. You're not seeing all of that behind the scenes stuff. Even in movies, the movie is scripted, the movie is written. This will happen, and then that'll happen, and then this character does this, and this character does that. Sometimes it's very realistic, other times it's not as realistic. Either way, this is life that is summed up into an hour and a half, maybe 2 to 3 hours, depending on the movie. It's like, okay, that they're skipping all the mundane that you actually have to go through every single day. Life is not a movie. It's not a movie. And it's like, we get such unrealistic expectations, we get such unreasonable demands, just because we see how a movie has went, thinking that's how our life should go. Like, you see people who live their lives, they love, they lost, they lived, then they like figure stuff out, they hit rock bottom, then they came back up, and after they did that, then they lived a little bit more life, they began to stretch their wings and everything, and then they reflect back on their life, on how they did and everything, and then they die, and it's just supposed to be like, okay, then moved on, etc., etc., etc. You see a lot of movies like that, where it just kind of just this, almost this reflection on life, and it's just like, that's not how life goes. um it's really, all of that is just like a reel, or like a summary of it all. It's not a actual like, hey, this is life, this is how life goes. Just, thank you, Holy Spirit. Life is just not a movie, and everybody's life is not the same. And with that being said, there's no two ways to do something. There's nothing that Abba cannot do. You cannot box him in. Well, they did it at 40, or they were millionaires at 20, or they were retired by 50, or retired by 40. Like, there's just, everything is not for everybody, even if it's good. Everything is not for everybody. And just in that explanation, he was just breaking down like, we just, our expectations should not be the end all be all. And then when things don't work out the way that we think they're supposed to work out, we don't just run with that to then make decisions off of, or to then like cut God out of things, as if that was doing anything good for you before. But that's the message for today. Yeah, do the thing, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, take this word back to God. Don't just take every word, bring it back to God. Allow him to minister to you, allow him to test the spirit by the spirit. Come on. Don't just take everything, and ask him, hey, is this for me? Is this a right now, or do I shelf it? Is this what parts are for me, if not the whole thing? If the whole thing is not for me, what parts are for me? What things are you highlighting to me to understand and to do the thing with the thing? So yeah, you guys have a great night. Remember, God is love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Peace, love, and happiness here. And have an awesome night.